Hi guys, it's Shamsa and welcome back to another video. Now this recipe is something Mum used to make all the time when growing up. We used to have this at Eid celebrations, on birthdays, or just family get-togethers. This dish makes it to the table every single time. It takes a little bit of work and a little bit of effort to make, but honestly tastes fantastic. I'm going to share with you how to make another British Indian restaurant style Saag Gosht, which is also known as Gosht Palak. Palak basically and Saag is the same word for spinach. So you might have ordered this under both the Palak or the Saag version. And I'm going to show you how to make this. But guys, before I do that, I've noticed a lot of you have been watching my content, enjoying it, but you simply do not hit that subscribe button and definitely not that notification button. Now, it's important that you guys show me that support because we really work hard to, provide these videos for you guys to enjoy in the comfort of your homes. And I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, help the channel grow, help me grow so I can continue making content. So before I run through the ingredients with you quickly on how to make this one, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I really need you to hit that notification button, and I need to see my analytics change now after this video goes live. So let's start cooking. So the ingredients you're going to need is approximately 1 kg of lamb. Now I'm using leg of lamb here on the bone, which has been cut into medium pieces. I've got here 660 grams of baby spinach. Now in order to get 660 grams, which might seem a lot, I've used 1 large bag and 1 small bag of spinach, which can be bought from any sort of like supermarket. Now if you don't have access to fresh baby spinach, you can use the tinned version, which is already pureed, or you can use the frozen version. That's entirely up to you. Now I would advise you actually look through and clean the spinach before you actually use it, because you do find little bits like that which are not really sort of like edible maybe, which are the weeds and stuff which have been packed in with the spinach. I've also got here approximately 600 grams of onions, which I've sliced up. These were 2 large onions. I've got here 4 large tomatoes, which weighed 400 grams. And I've just diced them up finely. I've got here 3/4 of a cup of oil, and I've got 1 tablespoon of the following spices. I've got salt, coriander powder, degi mirch, which is the Kashmiri chili powder, which adds a really nice flavour but not the heat, and 1 tablespoon of regular chili powder. I've got here 1/2 tablespoon of turmeric powder and the following whole spices. I've got 4 bay leaves, 2 cinnamon sticks roughly the size of my thumb, and 2 green not green, 2 black cardamom pods. I've got here 4 green chilies. These are optional. These are mostly for colour. They're not very hot, so all I've done is I've just sliced them in half. And I've got here 4 pieces of frozen ginger and garlic, 2 pieces each of the ginger and garlic. Now if you don't have these frozen pieces, you can substitute each piece for 1 tablespoon of the paste or puree. I've got here 1 heaped tablespoon of dried fenugreek leaves and 1/2 tablespoon of homemade garam masala. I've also got fresh coriander to garnish right at the end, and we also have water to use as and when we need to. So let's start cooking. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fry our onions until they're nice and golden brown. I've got my pot on the heat. My temperature setting on my hob is a 7, which is a medium high heat setting, and I'm just going to add my oil in and just allow that to come up to heat. Just give it a minute or so, and then I'm going to throw in my whole spices. Just give them a stir, and then add the onions in and fry them for around 8 to 10 minutes until they're nice and golden brown in colour, and I'll show you how they look once they're done. Right, okay, so it's been 10 minutes that I've been cooking the onions, and you can see that they're really nice and soft and translucent and slightly golden brown in colour. And into this I'm just going to throw in my ginger and garlic and just give that a minute or so. Right, after about a minute I'm going to add my meat in and just fry that for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now I did turn my heat setting up to a 9, which is a high heat setting, and I'm going to do this for about 4 minutes and then I'll show you what you need to do. So after 4 minutes I'm going to add my tomatoes in. my spices, and using the same cup that we measured our oil in, I'm going to add half a cup of water into this and just give it a mix. And we're going to allow this to come up to heat, and after which we're going to reduce the heat setting down to a 6, which is a medium heat setting for my hob, and we're going to pop the lid on and we're going to let this cook away for about 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes I'll show you how it looks, but before that just allow it to sort of like come up to temperature again. Right, okay, so it's come up to temperature, lid on, heat setting down to 6, and I'll see you guys back in about 45 minutes time. Right, okay guys, it's been 45 minutes that the lamb has been cooking away, and I'm just going to remove the lid to show you. So you can see that it's released a lot of water, the tomatoes have, but they have softened up along with the onions that we've added. Now the next stage of the cook is the bhunning of the meat. So for that I am going to turn my hob up, which is full, on 9, and we're going to bhun this now. So the bhunning process is going to start. The meat hasn't cooked fully yet. Now the bhunning process is where we're going to further cook this. So all of that moisture, the water that's in there, the onions and the tomatoes, we want them to break down to create a really nice thick sauce. So we're going to do that for around 15 minutes. So keep your heat settings on a high and just keep stirring it around. And these onions that you can see and the tomatoes, they will actually come together and form a really thick masala. And after 15 minutes of bhunning this, I'll show you how it looks. You won't need to add any water in there because there's obviously quite a lot of water and moisture in there. So we're just going to cook this out now completely, and I'll see you guys back in around 15 minutes time. Right, okay, so coming back to the gosht, I've been bhunning this now for 20 minutes. Now I did say 15 minutes, but I had to run a few errands for my toddler. So it's been about 20 minutes I've been cooking this, and I've just reduced the temperature on my hob now down a little because it was just steaming up too much. Now it's had 20 minutes of bhunning, which obviously means further cooking. So you can see that the masala is really nicely broken down. The onions and the tomatoes have made a really thick masala. The oil started to separate and come to the surface. Now just to show you how much the meat is cooked, I'm just going to take a piece of lamb for you like that, and I'm just going to cut that. Now that does cut through quite easily, but it is slightly tough. So I'd say that's about 85% cooked. Now all I'm going to do to this for now is just turn my hob off and just set that aside, and we're now going to move on to the spinach, and the rest of the cooking, the rest of the 20%, 15, 20%, 25% will cook with the spinach. So I'm just going to move this to the side, and now we are going to prepare our spinach. Right, okay, so to prepare our spinach, all I've done is I've just added it into my pot. I've got my heat setting on 9, which is the highest heat setting, and I'm just going to add in 1 cup, which equates to 250 milliliters of water in, just like that. And that's going to help it sort of like steam and wilt faster. So just pop the lid on and allow that to wilt down, and once it's wilted down I'll show you what you need to do next. Right, okay, so the spinach has wilted down really nicely. It took around 8 minutes to wilt the spinach, and I've just turned the heat settings down a little because obviously I don't want it to catch at the bottom. It still has a little bit of water left in it, as you can see there, which is fine, and this is what we want. We don't want it all dried up. All I'm going to do now is turn my hob off, and I'm going to get my hand blender, and I'm just going to blitz that to a nice sort of like puree until all of the baby spinach leaves are smooth, and I'll show you how that looks once it's done. Right, okay, so I've blitzed my baby spinach like that. You can see it looks absolutely wonderful, nice and smooth. And all I'm going to do now is just set this aside for a second, move my lamb masala over, and we're going to add that in, and then I'll tell you what you need to do next. So the next step is that we just add this straight in like that. Just going to use a spatula to get everything off. Don't want to waste any of that. Wonderful. And I'm going to turn my heat setting up to a 6, which is a medium heat setting, and just mix that through. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start the third stage of the lamb cook, which is cooking the spinach and the lamb together. So again, we're going to bhun this now. Even though spinach doesn't require a lot of cooking, in this you need to develop its flavor again. So we're going to cook this for a further 15 minutes. And my heat setting is on a 6, which is a medium heat setting. It's just going to take a little while to come up to temperature. So we're just going to cook it without the lid on and keep stirring it. And after 15 minutes, I'll show you how it looks. Oops, totally forgot. We need to add the green chilies in at this stage whilst we cook this and bun this. So I'll see you guys back in around 15 minutes time. Right, okay, so 15 minutes later, and this is how the spinach looks. It's cooked really, really nicely. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw in my dried fenugreek leaves, just crush them between the palms of your hands and add them in. Now, if you have fresh fenugreek, then obviously that's even better. It will add more flavor, but I couldn't find any, so I'm just adding dried fenugreek. And then I'm going to throw in my garam masala and just give that a mix. And once you've mixed it really well, what we're going to do is we're just going to pop the lid on, turn our heat setting down to a 3, and we're going to let that cook away now for a further 5 minutes on dum. So don't need to do anything to it, just let it cook away, and after 5 minutes I'll show you how it looks and we'll finish the dish off. Right, okay, so the 5-minute timer is up, and to show you how it looks now, oh, it smells incredible. Oh, the aroma coming off that is just something that I cannot explain. Now, to finish the dish off, all we need to do now is just first of all close your hob, and if it wasn't already wonderful just as it is, I'm just going to go in and add some cubed salted butter in there just to make it even more luxurious. Now this is optional, that's why I left it out in the ingredients. It's up to you if you want to add this in, but it does add a really nice sort of like flavor to the end product. And then just sprinkle over some fresh coriander like that. And you can stir that if you wish, but for you guys, I'm just going to leave it like that and just allow the butter to melt. And there you have it, guys. My Saag Gosht, which is also known as Gosht Palak, is ready. I'm going to plate this up and show you guys exactly how it is. But before I do that, I'm going to show you just how tender the lamb is cooked. So I'm just going to grab a piece of lamb for you with this knife, because obviously I forgot to get the spoon out, but just look at that. So you can see that there, and it is super, super soft, just cuts all the way through. So let me plate this up now, guys, and show you exactly how this is. Right, okay, so my Saag Gosht is all plated up, guys, and I'm going to try this now and tell you guys exactly how it is. Just look at that. Creamy, creamy palak, saag, whatever you want to call this. Oh my God. And just super tender pieces of lamb in there. Look at that. And I'm just serving mine up with some naan breads here. You can have them with roti, you can have it with rice, you can even have it with a paratha. That is, oh, paratha, yummy. But here goes. Oh, my mouth has started to salivate. Oh, but look at that. That is just super soft. Look at that, gorgeous. Might as well just take that entire chunk of meat. Look at that. That is just so flavoursome. I can't even explain to you guys. Oh my God. The lamb is so tender, super soft, melts in your mouth. So much flavour coming through from all of the spices. Absolutely spot on. It's not spicy. It's just very mild, but you can feel that little bit of heat coming through, and that's what you want, because spinach is bland and you want a little bit of heat coming through. So that is perfect to serve up to kids. They'll absolutely love that. Guys, try the recipe out. This is how Mum used to make this at home, and I'm sure a lot of other Pakistani families can, you know, relate to this, because this is how their mums used to cook. No fancy ingredients, just simple things that you can find in your kitchen, and you will have the most amazing dish at home. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Till next time, take care, happy eating.